Because, I mean, more people would know Tom Brady than the... Fucking hell, get it, man.
Jesus.
A couple of fruit flies going. I think it's fruit flies, bro. They're a bit too small, aren't they?
I had dried fruit in the room. Maybe that was...
There you go.
I was stacking on it while I was like just writing notes.
I mean, usually they come to fruit that's been like left for a while and it's kind of just...
Hasn't been left for a while.
Well, there you go. I don't know. Fruit
That's
flies.
weird.
Maybe it's the dog.
It could be. No, could
They're
be.
actually fruit flies. They get fleas, but I don't know. Look, I have no dog. I have no pets at the moment. I'm just living life pet free.
Should we do this episode about the
yes.
episode?
The episode that never was.
The one that didn't happen.
Yeah. So talk me through it because we didn't have an episode on Friday.
Number 5 podcast in the world. Welcome back to the Outspoken show. Thank you for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe. What were we saying?
Let's go. So we didn't have an episode Friday.
No.
First time
ever.
That's the first time we're missing upload. We hit 50 and then we're like, yeah, let's get lazy with it. I assure you that's not what happened.
So much complacent shit.
But yeah, like, episode couldn't go up.
Yeah, that was a tricky situation. It wasn't tricky until Friday afternoon. I mean, because we had a guest on, and yeah, it was our 51st episode. We're all excited about it. This is now the 51st episode. Mm-hmm. We may even be playing snippets of that episode throughout this episode, so stick around for that. And we record this episode, and the guest comes over. We need to give the guest a name. Otherwise,
Tom.
That's a great name.
Is that red though?
No, funny you say that because I thought before I was like, okay, this is what we'll talk about. And I thought, actually, we could give the name Dino. I'm like, no, that'll be confusing. This is what I'm saying to myself in my mind. No, we can't use Dino because Dino and Dino will get confusing.
Very much.
So we'll call it Tom.
Yeah.
And I asked, and he said fucking Tom. So yeah, Tom
Most
comes.
generic name ever.
Tom comes over. Tom comes over to record the podcast. And you assume when someone comes over to record a podcast, they're okay with the podcast going out.
You would think.
But you weren't there for this episode.
I was not there, so...
Jayden was here for this episode, so he heard and was part of everything we talked about. And Tom leaves and texts me saying, thanks for the show, enjoyed it, something along those lines. After that, he said, just send it off to my managers so they can look through. Now, I booked the episode through Tom, and I think the issue may have arisen where his managers knew nothing about the podcast, the interview, until I sent them a final cut. So I think they may have been a little bit pissed off that we didn't speak to them at all prior, no communication, and they had no idea about it.
Yeah, that's what it seems like.
I think they were a little bit angry about that. So we sent it off to them, and they come back, and we put this on Instagram because, we couldn't believe it fucking happened. I'm just going to pull it up now even.
Random. I was wondering the whole time, what happened in this episode? What must have been said? Because, it's crazy.
So they came back. Here it is. Hi, Luke. It's lovely to connect with you and hope you're staying safe and well. Thank you so much for the opportunity for sharing the final cut of the podcast. We appreciate you thinking of Tom to be a part of it, not Tom. However, we're going to have to ask you to please not post this on your channel or anyone else or anywhere else for the foreseeable future. It is currently not a part of our social media and marketing plan, and we are not comfortable with the topics discussed in this interview. We apologize for the inconvenience. Kindest,
Management.
And then we go back.
Man.
We're like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
Who are you?
Yeah.
We don't care what you have to say. We're showing it to you. I even sent it saying, here's the final cut of our conversation with Tom for your perusal.
Yeah.
You can look through it. You have the privilege of looking through it before we release it.
More than we're obligated to do.
We don't.
It's like a courtesy.
When have we done that?
Yeah. It's literally...
No, we've never done it.
Yeah. I mean, I did journalism for a couple of years. I studied the thing, and they would say, in throughout your career, there will be people who want to see, the final cut before you release it. Just know if you do that, they probably won't like it. There's always going to be people who want to, they want to see, but it's you have no obligation to do it, and they can't tell you not to do it.
Is it a better idea not to do it then?
It's
Because I think that was our mistake.
I think, honestly, unless they, I don't know, in writing say, you must do this, this is what, before they come in for the interview, this is the stipulation
Conditions of it getting released.
Yeah, beforehand, maybe. But even then, I think it's they've agreed to do it. If they agree to do it, you're allowed to release it. That's your content. If you're not defaming, which nothing defamatory was said in the thing.
Well, the funny thing is, for defamation to occur, you need to say something about someone else that's a lie, and then it needs to cause damages or loss in financial.
Essentially loss of financial or reputation.
But it's an interview. So we're asking questions, we're not giving the answers.
Yeah.
So unless he says something like
But even then, it's like...
what did he say?
Yeah.
I mean, you weren't there, it's a rhetorical question.
Exactly.
But
the mystery.
exactly. And we'll talk about what we talked about in the interview later, and we'll show snippets potentially. We're still working through that. But yeah, I think sharing that final cut was the biggest issue. We shouldn't have done it. We had no reason to do it. It was more of a courtesy thing. And then my response was, hi. Oh, I was about to say the name.
Yes. Edit.
Can you please list... So my response to the email I just read out, can you please list the timestamps of our chat you would like to be removed for our consideration? One more chance. Do you want any parts taken out because we may listen right now? This is 3 days before the episode is scheduled to get released, which they're aware of, which Tom's aware of, which is what you guys are aware of and wait for every other Friday.
Yeah.
So that was...
Again, no obligation, but like, we'll come to the party. We don't want it to be a bigger thing than it has to be.
But I also wanted to say, like, we're not listening to what you said in the last email. That's obscene to not post the episode.
Yeah, it's like, you got to respect that we're trying to adhere to a schedule here. We have not missed an episode in forever.
But it's even regardless of that.
Yeah.
Who are you? Like, still, who are you?
Yeah.
Like, why are you telling us? You can't tell us. You've got no authority to say.
Exactly. Literally come back saying, we don't want it. It doesn't suit our plan. Like, what does that even mean? It doesn't suit social media
suit
plan.
the marketing plan.
Like, don't promote it then on your side, but we'll just put it up. Like, that's fine. What the hell's...
Yeah, I don't even understand that.
Mean? Yeah.
It's like, but, and then she comes back. This person comes back. I've just given away 50%.
Oh, no.
Well, fuck it.
It's 3 billion
Hi,
possibilities
Luke.
now.
Apologies for the miscommunication. We do not want this video/podcast to go live at all. Happy to reschedule with a different format to a later date if you're interested, but we can't have this go out with the topics that you're discussing and in the manner it is being presented. Thank you for your understanding and apologize again for the inconvenience. Kindest, Aunt. Okay, you don't want any bits taken out.
Yeah.
Like
what's
all right.
What's going on? We're giving you a chance. Yeah. And what does that even mean? Like the format it's present. So they literally, he'll come back, but you're not doing a podcast.
You know what the funny thing is? The podcast, a long form open conversation is the best form of education. Like, it's not a headline.
Yeah.
Like, it's the most anti-headline.
Yeah, you get to know someone actually just through like a 30-minute conversation more so than you would just completely controlling the narrative.
Yeah,
it's like,
if they say something bad, it can be taken out of context by listening to one sentence. But at least in a podcast, you get to explain yourself.
Yeah, you've got the setup, you've got what they say, you've got afterwards, like everything is there.
That's the best bit of this format, that we get to have in-depth conversations.
Absolutely, yeah.
And we're like, okay. I just didn't respond. What do you need to say? You've had an opportunity. You know it's going to go out. You've been told it's going to go out before. I don't think there's anything more there.
No.
And for me, the marketing side of me goes, this is all I needed to see the perfect marketing material there is. Like, my hands are on fire with all these emails that I've gotten. The guest, Tom, has thanked me for having him on the show. Like, he's okay with it.
At least until management got in his ear.
No, I did forget to mention, when they first came back, I sent the screenshot of it to him and said, hey, this is what your managers have come back with. That was weird because I was just asking for their like, I was just showing it to them.
Look, yeah.
And it's pretty ridiculous what they were saying to take down the episode. And he goes, hey, bro, what the fuck? Like, I haven't even seen the episode, seen the cut. They've just sent it to me now. And I said, yep, let me know if there's anything you'd like taken out. He doesn't respond for a day and a half until, like, 1 p.m. Friday. Like, we'd had lunch, and it was after lunch. Yeah. This has happened. So I had the perfect marketing material. So I'm screenshotting the emails, blanking out names and details because we've also trying to do things right and it's irrelevant.
Build the hype, but respect the privacy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And we start marketing the fuck out of it. And thank you guys for your interest. And I guess, and I sort of knew I was going to poke the bear. Like I knew I was going to.
Of course you do. Like you kind of not known that by putting that out that they're going to not like the way that it seems they're portrayed from it, but. Like,
maybe I sabotaged the episode. I was the reason that it
the
didn't
hype
go
beast
up.
Luke made it like, let's get this hype, so much hype, too much hype. Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
That antagonizes people.
Because I think if I didn't probably share as much as I did, it would have made it out at least for a few hours, so you would have had an opportunity to listen to it at the very start.
For sure, I think it probably would have come out without that extra little bit. But then again, who knows? The way it was all handled, like, it wouldn't surprise me if it was still, nothing changed, even from the hype.
So then after that, so I start promoting it, and after lunch on Friday, 4 hours till the episode's coming out, it's scheduled, everything is ready to go. And I get a text message, I get a barrage of text messages.
Fair few,
and I'm just gonna look at it now and see if there's anything that I can say. But you weren't there for the episode.
No, I missed this whole...
You weren't there, Dino, but you were there for the whole aftermath.
Yes.
You've seen the emails, the text messages, the back and forth.
Like, I saw the aftermath, and I was like, what the hell happened on this show? Like, what must have been said for this, this level of reaction, this level of, this can't come out?
And I'm just looking at the messages now. But
I mean, I don't even know if there's much worth sharing there. It's just it seems like there's panic mode going on and
panic mode big time.
Management getting in ears and people not being happy.
And one of the lines is, I think you should respect my management's wishes as they control my Tom's brand. Why?
Yeah. Like, what about our brand?
But why should we have to respect it? You're coming onto a show, be mindful what you say on camera.
Yeah.
It is...
And it's almost like that brand there, not even considering this brand, where we have an obligation to our audience to put out the episodes, and we're promising an episode at this point, and it's we have to then go off on our brand.
They're not thinking about it from that perspective.
Exactly, but that's what I mean.
Yeah.
It's how can you expect someone to completely just, we'll just screw ourselves and because of no legitimate reason, and you didn't come to the party with us when we asked you. We were trying to compromise.
That's the thing. We'd spent so much time. They didn't talk to us for 2.5 days.
Yeah.
When they said they had an issue with it, we're trying to work through it.
Yeah, we're trying to
if there is
compromise.
parts you want taken out, maybe we'll meet you halfway there. They just don't respond, and then they're angry at us for not being considered as to Tom's image. Just be careful what you say on camera.
Yeah.
What's so confusing about having lights, camera, microphone in front of you?
Yeah. It's there's also some personal accountability. You go to a news studio or you go to any other interview, whatever you say,
They don't give a
especially
fuck about you.
if it's live, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
You just have to be careful and be sure about what you're saying. If there's something you know you shouldn't be talking about, you don't talk about it on the interview because people are going to talk to you and you got to be aware. You got to be ready. It's all very, I don't know. It seemed a bit silly to me, the outrage with whatever was said, because it doesn't seem like, from what you've told me, it doesn't seem like there's things that have been said that maybe could be perceived as crazy, but
I did listen back, and sometimes when you say things in the moment, you hear things in the moment, and it doesn't sound, it doesn't hit. I did watch it back, and it's there's bits and pieces there. That's okay, I see your point, but you're talking on camera.
Yeah, and again, we even gave you the opportunity to tell us to take it out, and we would have.
We spent we barely worked on Friday afternoon. The amount of time that we spent going back and forwards with these guys, trying to figure something out, trying to explain to them that, we got no reason it came down to moral reason that we didn't put up the episode. That was because I guess there was a reason not to post. There was actually few big we could have definitely posted the episode with no issues, but there by watching it back there probably would have been repercussions on the other guy's side, so that was the umming and ahhing. But I was annoyed that like we've done 50 episodes and it's like now we take a break, like now.
No days off except this one.
And we did the work.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't. We didn't even have a holiday.
Yeah. It's it was unfortunate that, but you know, end of the day, we decided it probably wasn't kind of worth it to post it. It was just like, I don't know, throw them a bone essentially. Like, I don't know.
Well, we're still working with them.
Yeah, we want it to come out.
We're trying. Like they're not trying as hard as we are. We're trying to get it out.
Which is frustrating. It's like,
Well, the frustrating part is because we want to get it out for you guys, and we can put it out at any point in time. We're aware of what will happen, but we could. But we're doing it for them, like waiting, and they're just not working at the same pace as us.
It's frustrating. It's tough being the bigger person sometimes. It's tough being the good guy.
So many parts of me just want to go like, nah, fuck you. Like, I'm releasing. Like, there's no reason I don't have to.
Especially when ultimatums are thrown in your face. Like, don't do this, or seeking legal advice. Like, what? You're trying to fucking bully.
Yeah.
Trying to bully a podcast. Like,
yeah.
Like, oh. I mean, it was tiring. It was a tiring Friday. Like, my first day back, or my first couple of days back at work,
quarantine.
I was like exhausted. Like, oh, and it's not even about the work. The work's, you know?
It did fire me up though.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Did you like have more energy? Like,
I mean, I was just like, what the hell's going on? I was more like confused because I'm like, I mean, what happened? Like, what,
yeah. Well, you still haven't.
I still haven't watched it. I'm like, I've kind of.
You'll be allowed to watch it. Maybe we can watch it back. There are parts.
Oh, for sure.
There's
like,
definitely parts.
In private, I can watch it. Like, it's not going to be a big issue. I'm part of the show. Like,
yeah,
it is
exactly.
It is what it is. It's kind of fun for me not to watch it now because I like thinking like, what the hell happened in that thing?
Yeah.
Let's build the hype until it comes out.
Well, that was the thing. We released a little bit about Tiger. That's what you guys would have seen, and that was like an okay part. Like that was, and actually, I don't even think Tiger's name was mentioned in that clip, and I did that for a reason. But that whole bit was like a minute of him talking about what he's known for, or what he learned from spending time with Tiger. So like that wasn't even the tip of the iceberg from the conversation. But it's a good episode. Like, I mean, I really want people to watch it though as well. That's the thing.
Yeah, it's a tough spot.
Or listen to it.
Yeah.
Whatever your jam is.
Yeah, whatever you prefer. Audio, visual, it's all the same.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been tiring. It's been tiring a couple of days just trying to work it out and decide on what to do. But we'll still work with their team and try and figure it out and see if we can come to a compromise.
Like, don't make excuse. Like, the number of excuses that are, even after we said, okay, like, sure, we'll do it because we're the bigger people here. We won't post the episode. But even after that, just the excuses that have happened for just their laziness and lack of responsiveness is just.
Yeah, it's. I mean, what are you gonna do? People will just try and serve their own purpose. Like they don't care about wasting our time.
Yeah,
they don't care.
Humans are humans. Humans are gonna be selfish.
And that's okay sometimes, but it's really annoying if they're being selfish towards you. Like,
yeah.
I get it. I get their perspective 100%, but also, like, you had some control there in terms of what's being said.
Bad things, well, bad, heavy, I don't know the terminology that best describes it, were said. But, you know, sometimes drama will blow a person up. Like, I don't know if it'll be bad for Tom or good for Tom.
Yeah.
Like...
Or if it'll even matter at all, like either way.
When people get divorced or they break up, that means they're in the news. They've gained more Twitter followers. They've gained more, like, they're doing better because of it.
Yeah.
So I feel like it'd be one of those instances, because of the notoriety of it, he'd actually do better.
Denying yourself the blow up. That's all I'm saying.
That's literally what it feels like.
Management's denying the blow up. They're holding the man back.
But the number of people that were keen on it as well, it's like, you just got to like...
Yeah, suppress your design. Feel like, all right.
But no, Tom should have allowed it because of all the people that were so keen on it. Thank you guys for the messages.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
And send us messages every time. Like, we love chatting to you guys in the DMs.
Yeah.
But yeah, you missed out in that instance. And I think it happened before the situation. Jayden has left us. There's two of us.
Back down to two.
We're back down to two. the reason why Jayden left, we put it on our Instagram stories. He has a separate podcast called Catching the Mind. That was how I met Jayden. So I did a run around Uluru, 60 kilometers for mental health, and I went on his podcast to help promote the run. It's called Catching the Mind. Great podcast where he tries to break down the stigma of talking about mental health and speaking to people who have gone through. Most of the time is speaking to people who have gone through things, but we were just more talking about the run and mental health as a whole subject.
Yes.
So he's decided, and I think maybe because of just like, I wonder if because we were doing so much, like he wanted to do more on his.
Yeah, of course. Like just probably found himself at crossroads. Like I've got to put more into one of these. Like I'll try and just feed on my own one, which completely respect. Like
that's pretty much what he said. Like
yeah,
he
that's
just
what you want to
wants
do.
to focus on it.
Yeah,
and but we're also doing so much outside of just sitting here through the No Pant Rant or through like Instagram Live, whatever it may be. There's more going on, and I wonder if that opened his eyes a little bit. I don't know, maybe not, but just of like there's more that can be done. So Jayden's doing his podcast now. So if you want to listen to Catching the Mind, which I suggest because there's fantastic stories that get shared on the show.
Definitely.
Catching the Mind, it's on all audio platforms. It's on Facebook as well. Jayden Williston, his Instagram, you would have seen it before. Check him out as well. And for the time being, what are we doing?
For the time being, well, two of us will be the core, back to the core, and we're thinking about bringing on some rotating guests. So hopefully create some familiar faces where the 3-4 people will start to come in, be the third chair.
So it'll still be like me and you.
Yeah, but we'll have a third person, and it'll rotate. We'll try and keep it consistent. We'll see who's keen. We'll get some people in mind that we want to talk to, and we'll get them coming on. Hopefully, like once a month or once every few weeks, the same person, so you get some familiarity with them, and we'll give that a go because that sounds like a cool idea.
And let us know what you think of the different people that we have on. Like, do you like this person over this person, or is this person not a good fit for the show? Give us your feedback.
Yeah.
But for guest episodes, do you think it'll be better if it's just us? Or how do you think guest episodes
Maybe
should go?
initially we can just keep the two of us for a guest episode, and eventually when someone becomes more comfortable with being in there, being third chair, we can get the third person in for that. There's someone who think would be a good fit with that episode, but for the time being, at least, it'll definitely just be the two of us for the guests.
Yeah.
Keep it simple.
I think so.
We know the dynamics of each other, so it'll be a bit easier to coordinate and stuff when we have people on.
Anything else to touch on how do you feel about the whole Tom situation?
I mean,
you were pushing for the episode to go out.
and
that was the journalism aspect, the journalist.
Because journalism, there's going to be people, I was expecting, I've gone to the industry, there will be people you interview who change their mind and don't want what was said to be put out. And then it becomes a thing where you're like, is it worth me putting it out? Do I think the content is good and should go out because I want people to see it? More so than the person being concerned about what was said. Because fundamentally, they've agreed to do the interview. They came in, they did it. Seemed to be no issues until later on, which you don't have a responsibility to then not put it out. But if they really don't want it and you think it's going to bother them, you can decide not to, but you have no obligation. So I was like, it seemed to me like there was not that big a deal putting it out on our end. Like there was nothing going to come back at us. I mean, I think how you handled it was like as good as you could have. Like eventually it wasn't really worth putting it out in that moment, holding on to it, try and work with their team for a little bit and see how we go from there.
Hopefully
we
soon
get some,
as well.
Hopefully we get some cooperation and
how much of it, that's being figured out.
We'll see. We'll still play around with what we want to do.
We're doing our best to get it out, but it's going to take a little bit of time. They're just not responsive.
Yeah, I didn't see a grave injustice to put it out. I didn't think it was going to be.
That's the thing that you grapple with.
What are we waiting for then?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because we could just drop it right now. Literally just 2 clicks of the button. It's on YouTube, it's on Spotify, it's on Apple Podcast.
But we are doing the nice. We're doing the nice.
Unfortunately, are we too good of people that fucks us up?
Eventually we'll just become cold and be like, fucking hell.
the YouTube will be fucking ourselves on the YouTube. No, maybe not.
Nah, I don't think how we're doing
We've
it.
fucked
It's
up our
fine.
cadence. Rhythm. The momentum.
You can get the momentum
Yeah.
back, all right? Once you lose it, it's just about re-establishing it, all right?
Yeah.
Consistent for the next 50 episodes and we're back.
That's it.
But that's the goal.
Thanks, guys, for tuning in to the number 5 podcast in the world. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Catch ya.
Ciao.